So it's been a little over a month since Microsoft had announced Windows 11. They were very unsubtle about the hints, and of course, in this day and age, leaks happen like crazy. So we all knew Windows 11 was coming, just when and what exactly did it look like. This video is just going to be my initial thoughts on Windows 11. Haven't gotten to play with it yet, and that's mostly because of Microsoft's ridiculous requirements for it. Anyways, we'll kind of touch on that in a moment. So visually, there's, in my opinion, not a whole lot done, but at the same time, there is a lot done. Like, the not a whole lot done is mostly referring to like the icons, the settings. It's all basically the same as Windows 10, just a few refreshing changes of lines, basically. Instead of everything being squared off, it's more rounded, kind of like iOS, Android OS, Mac OS, Chrome OS. Microsoft's ditching some of the straighter lines, sharper corners, and going more to the rounded style. Like the icons, File Explorer, yes, it got a small little refreshing icon, but it looks 90% the same as the old icon. All the new Office products, their icons are still the same. So, in certain aspects, there's really not a lot done, but there's still a lot of stuff that they did change. Like the new Start menu. While it's a huge ripoff of Mac OS and Chrome OS, my honest opinion on the new Start menu is that it's basically the Wish.com version of Mac OS Spotlight Search. Harsh, but fairly true. The split screen was updated as well. I'm still a fan of using the window key and the arrows, but I do like the new options that they added in there. They did take a little bit of a cue from Mac OS, but they went one step further and added more ways to snap your split screen, which was pretty nice. I'm happy they did that. Teams calling resembles Mac OS FaceTime a lot more. Might as well put a quick note in right now. There's a lot of design cues that mimic Apple's Mac OS. I'll stop calling them out because it's a long list and I'll spend more time doing that instead of going over Windows. Anyways, overall, they moved away from the squared off straight lines to more rounded edges, gave it a more modern tech design style. Visually, overall, it is easy on the eyes. And I like it. I have to compliment them on the looks of Windows 11. While, yes, I did say that a lot of things like icons and the system tray and settings, they didn't get a huge refresh. They're just kind of minor. Overall, I think the operating system looks really good. The whole new Start menu, the new widgets, just kind of the changes. I think they did a pretty good job. As far as functionality, again, I haven't got to use it right now, so my initial thoughts may change when it comes time to actually play on the operating system, but I think the functionality is kind of the weaker part of the new operating system. They changed some of the visual things, added a few cool features, but overall I didn't really see a whole lot that they really added to really boost the functionality of the computer. I do like a lot of it, especially some of these things like the better voice features, again, the new split screen window snapping. You got, for touchscreen users, everything seems to have gotten a pretty good update. Messaging seems to be on a whole new level for Windows products, really bringing it forward where the old phone setup I don't think was as nice, but I think with Windows 11 I think you'll see a lot better compatibility with phones, whether it's iPhones or Androids. Virtual desktops were added 6, 8, 10 years later than Mac, but they finally added them, and I think that is probably one of my favorite things about Windows 11 because I use virtual desktops on my Mac all the time. And so I think this is going to be a huge game changer for someone like me that uses both operating systems. This will kind of help me get more, it will make my time on Windows 11 a bit more efficient when it comes to multitasking on a lot of different projects at once. Your gaming features seem to have been really upgraded. I haven't been impressed with the last several gaming updates for Windows 10, so it's actually really nice to see all the features that they've added for gamers for Windows 11. The new can't speak today. The new Microsoft Store should help developers and users alike. I think it'll make it easier for developers to actually get their stuff onto Windows products, because I know some places, if it's not in the Windows Store, they don't want it, or some companies, if they don't want to go into the Windows Store or the Microsoft Store because they don't see any benefit to it. I think this will help bring developers there. I think this will help companies. And I think it'll make it easier for users to find what they need, especially for those that were on, Windows 10X or something like that, where, you only have the Windows Store. You can't download anything from Google or Edge browsers. I guess that's Bing. But anyways, I thought it was interesting that they did also add Android apps to the Microsoft Store, because Android is Google's mobile operating system. So I figured Google would do this first and really run with it, and then hold on to it and not allow Mac or Windows to incorporate it. But they allowed Windows to do it, which could be a good thing. It looks like they're really fighting hardcore to battle Apple's App Store, or like in the way that Apple is trying to bring the Mac and iOS apps to, the iPad and iOS apps to the Mac. Overall, I do think that it's an improvement over Windows 10 in almost every aspect. In my opinion, I felt like Windows 7 and XP were kind of the top of the pyramid for Windows operating systems, kind of the peak, because Windows 8 and 8.1, I'm going to be honest, they were trash. Unless you had a touchscreen device, they were kind of worthless, but even on a touchscreen device, they were worthless. They were trash. I'm just going to call it as it is, or as I see it anyways. And then Windows 10 got Microsoft back on the right track, but it wasn't perfect. Windows 11 isn't perfect, but then again, no operating system is. But however, I feel like this is a vast improvement in functionality and also visually. I really only see one downfall for Microsoft when it comes to Windows 11, and that's its compatibility. Microsoft has such tight restrictions on compatibility because of the processor. I get that they want to increase security on their computers by requiring processors with TPM, that would be Trusted Platform Modules, but they're eliminating a lot of old machines by doing this, which I'm sure they're okay with that, because that means they get to make more money because more people have to buy new machines. But one of the things is that, if somebody has a computer and it doesn't have TPM, well, that's on them if they get a virus or malware. That's not on Microsoft. It's not Microsoft's fault. So I don't think that they should require that. But also, even though they require it, if you have TPM 1.0, who cares? Your computer's not compatible. If I remember correctly, it's got to be at least TPM 2.0 or newer. But, however, built machines, kind of like my desktop, that are requiring those of us that lack a TPM processor to buy a new one, which also means, for me, I'm not going to buy a new computer, I'll buy a new processor, but then I've got to also buy a new motherboard, which sometimes when you start buying one part and it leads to another, it kind of sometimes leads to another and another and another, so who knows, instead of buying just 2 parts, I might have to buy like 6. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The way they're doing this because of security, first and foremost. They need money. But they're confusing their clientele by doing this. I'm not really going to deep dive into the TPM and all the confusion with the processor requirements, because we don't have a lot of time for that here. Plus, like 1,000 other people have already done it, so I would like to refer you to Microsoft's websites and blogs. There's a few news outlets that have also covered it that I think did a pretty good job. So I'd have to refer you to those, because I think that'll be better than trying to listen to a video or me try to re-explain something that 1,000 other people have already done. I do have a compatible machine that is compatible with Windows 11, but it's not one that I want to put a beta OS on. So once I get my hands on Windows 11 beta, or the actual operating system that's publicly released, I'll get you a video. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. watch my videos, and as always, thank you for watching.